Okay, so a very big hello to all of you. So I will be discussing some of the important questions of the test on 19th June, right? So first question, we'll discuss with the first question. First question says that a particle of mass m, a particle of mass m is kept at rest at a height of 3r from the surface of the earth. Okay, so let's say this is earth and let's say radius is r. Okay, so from the center of the earth it is telling at a height of 3r from the surface of the earth, that means from this point it is 3r. Okay, this particle is kept here where r is radius of earth and m is mass of the earth. Mass of earth is m, the minimum speed with which it should be projected so that it does not return back. That means from this point, let's say point A, the particle is projected and it should not return back. So let's say it is projected with v velocity. Let's analysis and find the answer. Okay. So this is the earth. This is r. This is, let's say, 3r. And the particle is projected with velocity v. So it should not come back. It should not come back. That means all the total energies here, total mechanical energies is equal to, that is initial, right? Initial mechanical energy should be equal to total final mechanical energy. Okay, final mechanical energy, right? So total initial mechanical energy means kinetic energy initial plus kinetic energy, potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. Since we are assuming that the particle will, when it escapes from this Earth's gravitational field, it will lose all its energy, right? So it will have 0 volt velocity as well as 0 gravitational potential, right? So kinetic energy initial is half mv square, as we have assumed the velocity to be v, right? So half mv square, and potential energy initial, since it is at a distance of 4r, so initial potential energy is minus g capital M, that is mass of earth, mass of object or the particle m small m, by r, by 4r. Okay, distance is 4r. Final kinetic energy, because the velocity, final velocity when it escapes from the earth, let's say it is 0. Okay, plus potential energy, since it is not in the potential or not in the gravitational field of earth, it will have 0 potential energy. Just equate them. So you'll get from here v is equal to gm by 2r under. Okay, this is the long method that you can do, or you can just remember the escape velocity formula. Escape velocity was under root of 2 gm by r, where m is the mass of planet. It is valid for all planets. Okay, all planets, valid for all planets. Okay, this formula comes out by equating the centrifugal force with centripetal force with the kinetic energy one, and mv square by r equals to potential energy of the earth. We equate both them and then we get this escape velocity, right? So here 2g, mass of earth is m, and radius from the earth's surface or from the center of the earth is 4r. So you'll get from here under root of gm by 2r. Same answer. Okay, so this is method 2 you can use. Okay, this is method 1. Okay, Let's move to next question. Question number 2, right? In this question, it is telling the mean radius of Earth is r, its angular speed on its axis is omega, and the acceleration due to gravity is g. What will be the radius of the orbit of a geostationary satellite? Okay, so first of all, what is a geostationary satellite? If let's say this is Earth is moving with some angular velocity which is omega. There is one satellite. This satellite is also moving with omega. That means Earth के साथ साथ चलेगा. It will go with Earth. Okay, let's say if this is Earth, okay, and this is satellite. So when Earth rotates, so it also will go like this. Okay, it will move with the Earth velocity, right? A person standing on the Earth can see this satellite directly and can see the satellite still for him, because all both the velocities are omega. Okay, so the resultant velocity will be zero between them, right? So if I find what I have to find, mean radius is given r. Okay, r is the radius given, and angular speed is given omega, and the acceleration due to gravity is given g, right? What will be the radius of the orbit of geostationary satellite? So we have to find the radius of geostationary satellite. Okay, so let's do this. Earth, this is geostationary satellite, right? So this geostationary satellite is at a mean distance of r. In the question it is given. So this geostationary satellite will experience a centrifugal force of mv square by r. Okay, which will be outside, which will be balanced because it is a satellite. It will revolve. It is not doing any translation motion. It is only doing circular motion. So the gravitational force will be g, mass of Earth, mass of satellite by r square, small r square. We will equate them both. G m by r square is equal to mv square by r. M gets cancelled out. From here you will get r gets cancelled out. So v is equal to under root of g m by r. But see here, the question it is given that g के terms में answer निकालना है, right? If you see the options, if you see the options, all options are in the form of g, small g. Okay, so let's find. Okay, so we know g is equal to g m by radius of Earth square, that is gravity due to Earth. Okay, also we know velocity. Velocity is distance upon time. Distance, this whole satellite will complete as 2 pi r. So it will be 2 pi r by, acha, r is the radius, small r, okay, by time t, right? Let's substitute the value of gm, okay, which is g into re square. So v is equal to g into re square, okay, re square. Also you can put the value of r from here, or it is not needed. Okay, I think you will get the answer from this only. Okay, you need omega, right? So omega is equal to 2 pi upon t, right? So from here you will get t is equal to v 2 pi r by v. Okay, and now when you put it here, you will get omega correlation with respect to r. Okay, so 2 pi upon t की जगह 2 pi r into v. Okay, just hold on. 2 pi r by t. Okay, you can directly put the value of V from here. Okay, that was not needed. So V का value direct रख सकते हैं, which is V is 2 pi R by T is equal to under root of G R E square by small r. Okay. Now from here R we will separate out. Okay. R को separate करते हैं by squaring both sides. So R को separate करेंगे, that means it will be 2 pi by T का whole square into R square is equal to G R E square upon R, right? So it will be R cube is equal to G R E square divided by 2 pi upon T ka square, right? So it will be R cube will come out to be G R E square divided by 2 pi by T. 2 pi by T is omega, so omega square. Now if you take 1 by 3, because R cube it is now, so R cube kya aaya? I'm writing it here. R cube you got as G R E square by omega square. From here R will be equal to G R E by omega square whole divided ki power 1 by 3. Okay, the power is 1 by 3. This is the answer, right? Which is option R E R E. Option B. Option B. Okay. Let's come to next question. Question number 4. Okay, which is another good question, right? In question number 4, it is telling that a very small groove is made in earth. Earth के अंदर एक small groove is made, है ना? And this groove, from this groove, the center point, from the center point, there is a particle m0 located at a distance of r by 2. Now this particle, I want this particle to escape from the field of this planet, okay, of the earth. Then what should be that escape velocity? So what we will use the simple concept that we use for escape velocity, which is potential energy, or we will say total mechanical energy initial, okay, is equal to total mechanical energy final. Finally this particle, let's say, will have zero speed and zero potential due to no gravitational field of earth, because it has escaped from the field of earth, right? So it will be zero. So total mechanical energy is kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to 0. Let's say this particle is going with a velocity of v. So kinetic energy will be half mv square plus. Now the question comes for potential energy. So for finding potential energy, I have, or you have learned a formula. A formula is there for potential energy inside a solid sphere. It is, I'm writing it here, potential energy inside is equal to minus gm by 2r cube 3r square minus x square, where x is the distance of particle, from center, right? Okay, so we will write the same formula here, minus gm by 2r cube 3r square minus x square. Now x is the distance from the center, which is r by 2 here. So I'll put r by 2 whole square, right? And m0, or let's say m0. Okay, m0. This is m0. This is also m0, right? So this was the formula for the potential energy, okay, this from the center, distance from the center, here m also will come, is equal to 0. So now if you cut this m naught and if you solve this, 1 by 2 will also be cancelled out, one time, okay. So after solving all of these, you will get finally v square is equal to 3r square minus r by 2 whole square. 3 minus 1 by 4 is 11 by 4, 11 by 4, and then minus gm by r. Okay. Eleven by 4, 2 will get cancelled out. Okay, 2 ka power 3. Okay, so finally when you solve it, v square आ जाएगा 11 by 4. Oops. 11 by 4 gm by r. Okay, so v will be equal to under root of 11 by 4 gm by r. Okay, just it is solving this right, this equation, that's it, you'll get the final answer. Okay, chalo, let's move to the next one, which is question number 5. Okay, so question number 5, it is telling, if a graph is plotted between t square and r cube for a planet, then its slope will be. So it is telling, if a graph is plotted between t square, let's say t square is on y-axis and r cube is on x-axis, right? So if a graph is plotted between these two, let's say this is the graph. Okay, I don't know the slope, you have to find the slope. So normally, what is slope? Slope is y by x. Okay, now y is t square, x is r cube. So you just have to find t square by r cube. T is what? T is time period, which is total distance 2 pi r. 2 pi r divided by total total velocity, or the velocity, which is, let's say, VO, orbital velocity, because the planet revolves around the sun, let's say, by orbital velocity. So this is orbital velocity ka whole square divided by r cube. Okay, so I'm writing it here. This is t we got. Okay, this is t, right? So you can write here t square as 2 pi r by v naught, iska whole square divided by r cube. So r square r cube gets cancelled out, 2 pi by v naught r. Okay, now there, because we want the slope to be constant now, so we will try to make it more constant. Okay, orbital velocity, when you find orbital velocity, it comes out to be root gm by r. Okay, so put it here, 2 pi under root gm by r, okay, into r. What was the option? Okay, m by r. So what we can do here more is, okay, so v naught was gm by r, not root gm by r. Okay, I got misconfused. So v naught orbital velocity is gm by r. How it comes? I'll just quickly tell you. The planet is there, a satellite is revolving around it. Okay, so we equate the potential energy, which is gm1 m of planet upon r, is equal to, sorry, force is equal to mv square by r, mv naught square by r. R gets cancelled out, gets cancelled out, right? So it is v naught. Yeah, I missed here something. Okay, so from here you got v naught square is equal to gm by r, right? So here also v naught square is there, 2 pi r by v naught square, right? So it will be gm by r. Okay, this is v naught square, right? So when you cancel this, r gets cancelled out, and finally you get 2 pi by gm, right? This is the slope. This is the answer. Okay, 2 pi by gm. Okay, so I have missed the square. Okay, 2 pi square by gm, which is option A. Option A. Okay. Let's come to next question, which is this one. A particle is suspended from a spring and it stretches the spring by 1 centimeter, right? So there is a particle which is suspended by spring, okay, and stretches the spring by 1 centimeter on the surface of the earth. So on earth, if I take this system, this spring is stretched by 1 centimeter. Now the same particle will stretch the spring at a place 800 kilometer above the earth's surface by. So above the earth's surface, above 800 kilometers, let's say earth, on earth, if I take this system stretches by 1 centimeters, right? Now if I take this system above 800 kilometers, okay, so this is 800 kilometers, and if I use the same system here, we have to find how much stretching will be there. Okay, so it is definite that if on earth it is 1 centimeter, little bit away from earth it will be less, because gravity will decrease, right? Gravity will decrease. So at earth it was, this force was mg and spring force is kx. Okay, so I'm writing mg is equal to kx at earth, where x is 1 centimeters. Let's calculate g at 800 kilometers. So we know the formula, that is g dash is equal to g upon under root 1 minus, under root 1 1 plus h by r ka square. Okay, why I'm not taking this formula by binomial wala formula? Why I'm not taking? Because this distance 800 kilometers is very long, right? This formula is valid for a little less distance. Okay, so I'm not taking this one. So if I write g dash is equal to g upon 1 minus, height is how much? Height is 800 kilometers. Or this is also not needed to do. You can directly do from here. Okay, you can directly do from this relation. How? You can write mg, or you can write x, the distance, is equal to mg by k, right? And also this g, what is gravity? This is g m by r square. Okay, so if I write here g m by r square, k and m, so all these values are constant. This is also constant. I can say x is directly proportional to, inversely proportional to r square, or the distance square. So if I talk about x2, let's say this distance is x2, and from the center it is x1. Okay, this distance is x2. Total distance we will take na, x2 and x1. So I can write x2 upon x1 is equal to r1 square upon r2 square, because they are inversely proportional. So if I write it, I want to find x2. Okay, x2 is equal to x1 into r1 square upon r2 square. Okay, this x2 is not the distance. This x2 is what? Okay, x2 and x1, right? So x2 will be equal to x1. What is x1? X1 is the radius of the earth, which is 6400. So 6400 into r1 square. What is r1? R1 is sorry, these are not the, these are R1 and R2s, huh? Okay, I have written by mistake x1 and x2. These are R2 and this is R1. Okay, x1 and x2 we have taken elongation, right? Elongation. Okay, so relation of the elongation is given here, right? So we have to find the second elongation, right? First elongation is given. First elongation x1 is 1 centimeters, right? So answer will also come in 1 centimeter if I am putting 1 centimeter. R1 is how much? R1 is 6400 divided by 7200 ka whole square, right? So x2 is equal to, from here if you solve it, 0 will get cancelled out. This also will cancel out with 8. Okay, so 8 by 9 whole square is 0.79 centimeters, right? So option A is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Okay, next question. At surface of the earth, weight of a person is 72 newtons. Okay, that means mg is equal to 72 newtons, right? Then his weight at height r by 2 from the surface of earth is, you have to find, okay, how much will be the weight of that person if he goes r by 2 from the surface of the earth, right? So let's say this is the surface of the earth. If a person goes r by 2 distance, that means total distance is r plus r by 2. So it will be 3r by 2. Now at this r by 2, the gravity will decrease, of course. Let's say the new gravity is g dash. Let's find g dash, because what we have to find? mg dash. This we have to find. This is the weight at r by 2. Okay. So g dash will be equal to g naught 1 plus h by r. R means the distance, okay, not the radius of the earth. So g dash is g 1 plus height. How much is the height? It is 3r by 2. Sorry, it is r by 2 from the surface of the earth divided by, what is the radius? Is r square. Okay, this is square. So here you will get r gets cancelled out. You will get 3 by 2. So you will get 2g by 3. Okay, so g dash will be 2g by 3. That means if I want to find mg dash, so it will be m into 2g by 3. Okay, let's do it. So from here I'll get m is equal to, oh, okay, we will directly substitute. So I have to find mg dash. Mg dash is m into 2g by 3, or I can write 2 by 3 mg. mg का value क्या है? 72. 2 into 72 by 3. So it will be 26. So it will be, sorry, it will not be 26. 2 by 3. 24. So it will be 48. And I made some mistake. Okay, so here I have not taken square. Square hoga na? The square will be 4g by 9, not 2g by 3. 4g by 9. So here it is 4g by 9. So here it is 4g by 9. So here also it will be 4 by 9 into mg. Mg is 72. So when you cancel it, you will get 8 times, which is 32 newtons. Okay, option third. Right. Okay, next question. This is also a good question, right? So consider a pulley fixed at its center of mass by a clamp. Okay, a light rope is wound over it, and the free end, this is not nd, this is end, free end is tied to a block. So this is a pulley, right? Free end is tied to a block of mass m. Mass of pulley is capital M. You have to find the linear acceleration of block. Means block will go down. What is the acceleration of the block? That we have to find. Okay, chalo, let's make equations. First of all, the first equation will be for translational motion. Translational motion. Okay, so this pulley is pulled downwards with mg, right? Let's say tension is T. So what will be the translational equation? It will be mg minus T. Let's say acceleration is A is equal to ma. Now for rotational motion, this pulley will rotate also like this. Okay. So when it rotates, for rotational motion, the equation can be the torque, because this tension here will apply some torque, right? So torque is, let's say the radius is r. So torque will be tension into r. Okay. This will rotate this pulley, that is I alpha, right? Now this is a disk. So the moment of inertia is mr square by 2. So TR is equal to mr square by 2 into alpha. I can write alpha is equal to A by R. So A by R. RR gets cancelled out. So from here, okay. So this is the second equation. You can say this is the first equation. What do we have to find? We have to find the acceleration of the block, that is A. Okay. So we have to terminate, or we have to eliminate T. Okay. So I'm taking T from here and putting it in first equation. So T from here will be, this RR also gets cancelled out. Huh? It is MA by 2. I'll put it in the first equation. So it is putting in first equation, mg minus capital MA by 2 is equal to MA. Okay. Now taking this on right side, taking A common, doing all that stuff, mg is equal to, if you take A common, you will get capital M by 2 plus M. So from here, A will be equal to mg divided by M by 2 plus M. Okay, which option matches? Small mg, na? Option D. Okay, option D is the correct answer, right? Let's move to the next one. Okay, this question. This is another good question, right? An H-shaped object is made from 3 identical uniform thin rods. Okay, these are the 3 rods, 1, 2, and 3. Each with equal mass M and length L. Mass is M and length is L. Now you have to rank the object's moment of inertia around. So you have to find the moment of inertia. There are 4 axes given. This is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. There are 4 axes given. Okay. So if I talk about axis 1, okay, let me draw it. Okay, this is a diagram, right? If I talk about I1 axis, right? If I talk about I1 axis, see I1 axis, this is the I1 axis, right? Now, parallel to this axis is of course this rod. So moment of inertia will be 0 for this rod. The moment of inertia will be only for this rod and this. Let's name them A, B, and C. These are A, B, C rods. So moment of inertia will be for only A and for only B, right? So from the center, the moment of inertia for A will be IA plus IB, right? IA will be ml square by 12 plus ml square by 12. This will be equal to ml square by 6, right? If I talk about I2, which is second axis, which goes like this, okay, this one axis. So parallel to this axis is axis B. For axis B, I will write IB plus IA plus IC. IB, parallel axis theorem. It is ml square, ml by 2 square, because it is at a distance of L by 2, right? IA, A के लिए this axis 2 acts as a end axis, which is ml square by 3 plus similar for C rod also ml square by 3. So you will get 11 ml square by 12 for this, 11 ml square by 12. Now if I talk about third axis is this one axis. So parallel to this third axis, A rod and B rod are there. So I use parallel axis theorem. So for IA it will be ml square, L by 2 square, because distance between this axis is L by 2, right? Plus for the C rod also it is ml square by 2, ml by 2 the whole square, plus now coming to the B rod के center से जा रहा है axis, that means it is ml square by 12. So when you solve this, you will get how much? 447 ml square by 12, right? Now if I talk about fourth axis, which goes from rod C. So rod C के parallel is rod A. So parallel axis theorem, which is ml square, right? Plus this rod B is at the edge per axis hai, that means it is ml square by 3. So it will be equal to 4 ml square by 3. Let's compare. Okay, let's make it comparable. इसको 2 से multiply करते हैं up and down. So it will be 2 ml square by 12. This is 11 ml square by 12, and this is 7 L. Okay, let us make this also. Multiply up and down by 4. So you'll get 16 ml square by 12. 12. Now you can compare. Okay, which is greatest? I4, not iPhone, I4. Then this is greatest. This is greater, I2. Then I3. Then I1. Okay, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Which option? 4, 2, 3, 1. Option C, right? Let's come to next question, which is question number, this was question number 13. So next is question number 16, which is another good question. Okay, so in 16 question, it is telling a torque of 30 Newton meter is applied on a 5 kilogram wheel. So there is a wheel, it is 5 kg, whose moment of inertia is 2 kg per meter. So I of this wheel is 2 kilogram per meter for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds. So time is also given 10 seconds. Moment of inertia is I. Okay. The angle covered by the wheel in 10 seconds. Very simple question. Huh? You have to find first of all theta. You will get the answer. That's it. So you can use the analogous equation of S equals to ut plus half at square. Theta is equal to omega I t plus half alpha t square. Right? Omega I is initial velocity. What is initial velocity? Initial velocity is 0 because it is starting from rest. From rest it is starting, right? So theta will be equal to 0 into t plus half. What is alpha? Alpha we can find from moment of inertia formula, right? This is a wheel. Okay. What is a wheel? Wheel का क्या होता है? Okay. So we have to calculate alpha. Alpha बताना है. Alpha कैसे आएगा? See, torque is given. I know torque is equal to I alpha, right? Torque is how much? 30. Moment of inertia is 2 alpha. So alpha from here will be 15. I can put it here into 15 into t square. T is 10. So from here theta you will get 150. 15 to 15 is 750 radians. Okay. This is the answer. Let's go to next one, which is 18th number. Okay. This question. So in this question, it is telling a disc rolls, then find the value of friction and translational acceleration. This disc is applied by a force of 10 Newton, right? And it rolls without slipping. Rolls means rolls only. Okay, roll without slipping, rolling without slipping. So what we have to find, first of all, we have to find the friction force. Of course, it is rolling. अगर ऐसे घूम रहा है, right? So there will be friction in opposite direction, which is like this. Okay. And also translational acceleration. So this disc is moving in forward also. So it will have some translational acceleration also. So that we have to find. Okay, let's find. This is the disc, right? Okay. And 10 Newton is applied at a distance of 2 meters. ऐसे apply हुआ है. Okay. Right. Now, I can write the equation for translational motion, ऐसे वाला motion, which is equal to F is equal to ma. So net force is 10 plus. See, when this body will rotate like this, there will be a friction force also. So let's say it is F. So 10 plus F, which is on the right side, is equal to mass. Mass was how much? 4 kg. Okay. So 4 into acceleration. Let's say this body is going with some acceleration A. This became the first equation. Let's come to the second concept. Second is, if I talk about rotational dynamics, rotational motion, it is torque is equal to I alpha. What is torque? Torque is force into perpendicular distance from the axis. So force is 10 into perpendicular distance is 2 meters. This is the torque due to 10 Newton force, which will try to rotate it clockwise. Okay. If I talk about the sphere again, this is 10 Newtons and here it is friction. So this 10 Newton will try to rotate it like this. Friction will try to rotate it like this. Okay. So 10 into 2 minus friction ka torque, which is F into radius. What is radius? It is 3. Is equal to I alpha. I. Moment of inertia of a disc is r square by 2. I is equal to mr square by 2. Mass is how much? Mass is 4. R is 3 square by 2. So I'll put it here. 4 into 3 square by 2. Right? I into alpha. Okay. Alpha I can write as alpha is equal to A by R. Right? So I'm writing this also here. A by R. Now these two equations are having only two variables. So I hope we can easily solve these, right? कैसे solve कर लेंगे? Let's multiply. We have to find what? We have to find acceleration, friction, both. So we have to find both things, right? So what you can do is you can multiply the above equation by 3 and add it. So this will be 30. 30 plus 20 is 50. This will be 3f. This is minus 3f. It will be 0. Is equal to, this will be 12a. 12a plus, this will be 2. 18 a by r. Radius was 3, no? 3. It is 6. Okay. So 50 is equal to 12 plus 6 is 18a. So from here acceleration will be 25 by 9. Yes, acceleration will be 25 by 9 meter per second square. Now if I talk about friction, so friction, if you take this first equation, so 10 plus f equals to 4 into 25 by 9. So from here, friction will be equal to 100 by 9 minus 10. 100 by 9 minus 10, which is 10 by 9, which is 1 point something something. Okay, 10 by 9, we can leave it here. This is friction force. Okay. So next move to the 22nd question, right? 22nd. Okay. In this question, it is telling, in the figure shown, a small solid spherical ball of mass m can move without sliding. So this ball is moving in rolling motion, right, on the semicircular track, which is of radius r. Okay, it is released from the top. So from this position, it is released like this. It is released. The resultant force on the ball at the lowest point is, see, the concept basically here is, when this ball is released now, it will come here. When it comes here, it will have a velocity in this direction. Also, it will have a centrifugal force, Fc. Okay, Fc force होगा इसके पास, right? So this Fc force is nothing but the resultant force on the ball. Yes, Fc force ही तो normal देगा. Okay, Fc force ही क्या देगा? Normal. So by conservation of energy, I can write potential energy here and kinetic energy here is 0, because it is not having not acquiring any speed, right? When it comes here, let's say velocity is v. Okay, vc कहते हैं because it is centripetal centripetal velocity, right? So I can write from the conservation of energy, initial energy, which is 0, or I can write like this also. One more step I'll write: kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. Kinetic energy initial is half mv 0, because it has started from rest, right? And potential energy is mgh. So mg, this height is r, mgr, equals to kinetic energy final is half mvc square plus potential energy final. Potential energy final is 0 because it has come to ground. Okay. Now I have not added one more energy here, which is also rotational energy, because it is rolling. So rotational energy भी add कर देंगे end में, right? Why I have added an end? To tell you that what is the difference between now mechanical energy and earlier mechanical energy, because we have studied rotation. So now the mechanical energy will be combination of rotation plus translational plus potential, right? So half mvc square. अच्छा, rotational energy on the top is 0. Rotational energy कितना होता है? It is half I omega square, right? So rotational energy on the top is 0. On the bottom, it is half I omega square, right? So mgh, which is mgr, is equal to half m vc square plus half I. This is a spherical ball. So moment of inertia of spherical ball is 2 by 5 mr square. So 2 by 5 m r square. This r is the radius of the small sphere which is rolling, into omega of small sphere. Since it is vc, so I will just convert this vc into omega. Vc is equal to omega into r. Okay, so in place of omega I'll write vc by r, a whole square. So r square gets cancelled out, and 2 gets cancelled out. और क्या cancel हो रहा है? m and m gets cancelled out. So the equation now is gr is equal to vc square by 2 plus vc square by 5. So from here you will get vc as vc square as 5 plus 2, 7 by 10, 10 gr by 7, right? 10 gr by 7. Now what is asked in the question? The resultant force. So the resultant force is mb square by r. Okay, mb square by r. Okay, radius of this thing, right? Okay, so let's do it in another slide. What is asked? mb square by r, which is equal to ten gr by 7. So it will be how much? 10 mgr by 7. What is radius? Does radius gets cancelled out? Okay, so by r. So it is 10 mg by 7. This will be v. This will be the force acting on the bottom, right? So answer will be option A. Let's come to the next question, which is 25th. Okay, 25th question. 25th question is saying a composite wire consists of a steel wire of length 1.5 meters and a copper wire of length 2 meters. So there is a composite wire. Let's say this is the composite wire. Composite means two wires of different material are joined. Okay, so composite wire ka length, this is let's say steel and this is copper. Steel ka length is 1.5 meters, copper ka length is 2 meters with a uniform cross section area of 2.5. So they all have a uniform cross section area. So cross section area is equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 5 meters square. It is loaded with a mass of 200 kgs. Okay, so the rod, so the wire is not like this. This wire is vertical. Okay, like this. It is loaded with 200 kg, right? So it is loaded with 200 kg. That means the force on these wires will be 200 G, or you can write 2000 newtons, right? This one will be the force. Now find the extension produced. So due to this force, these wires will extend. Okay, so that extension we have to find. Extension means basically we have to find delta L, change in length. Young's modulus is also given. Okay, Young's modulus for both is given. Let's find. So the same diagram, 2000 newtons, wire 1.5, this is steel, this is copper, 2 meters. Extension delta L net we have to find. Delta L net is extension in steel plus extension in copper. We know the general formula, which is F by A is equal to Young's modulus into delta L by L. So if I talk about delta L, so delta L will be from this equation, delta L will be FL by A, right? Now let's use this equation. So delta L net is equal to, delta is L of steel, so I'll write force. देखो force is same for both, so force will be same. Also area of cross section is same. Now length of steel wire LS and Young's modulus of steel wire plus force is same, area is same, length of copper wire and Young's modulus of copper wire. Okay, so if I take F by A common, it will be LS upon YS plus LC upon YC. Now let's put the values. Force is 2000, area 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 5, right? Into bracket के अंदर length of steel wire is 1.5 divided by Young's modulus of steel wire is 2 into 10 to the power 11. 2 into 10 to the power 11 plus 2 by 1 into 10 to the power 11. Okay, if you solve this, अगर इसको solve करेंगे, so you'll get answer approximately equal to let's solve 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, 10 to the power 11 we can take common, so it will be 2000 divided by 2.5. 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power 11 is 10 to the power 6. 1.5 by 2 is 0.75. 0.75 plus 2 is 2.75, right? And these it was 200 kgs na? Okay, so we can cancel 3 times 10 to the power 3. Solving this, you will get approximately equal to 2.2 mm. 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 3, which is equal to 2.2 mm, right? So which option matches the best? Option C, right? Next, let's go to 27th question. 27th, okay. In question 27th, it is telling Young's modulus is given. Young's modulus is given 10 into 10 to the power 11. The increase in its energy on pressing a rod of length 0.2 meters. So there is a rod, it is having a length of 0.2 meters, 0.2 meters. And cross sectional area is 4 centimeters. So this cross sectional area is 4 centimeters square, or you can write 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square SI unit. Made of brass with a force of 40 newtons. So 40 newtons लगा रहे, 40 newtons. So here also 40 newtons. Okay. So question is telling the increase in its energy. We already know that energy or elastic potential energy is equal to half stress into strain into volume, right? Now it is very simple. Half stress is force upon area. Strain, what was the relation? Force upon area is equal to Young's modulus into delta L upon L. This is strain. So strain I can write as F by AL, F by AY. So F by AY into volume is length into area. So L into A. Now if I substitute the values, half F square, what is force? Force is 40, 40 ka square divided by area. Area is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 ka square into Young's modulus. Young's modulus is 10 to the power 11. Okay. Into length. Length is 0.2 meters into area is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay. So this will cancel out one time, right? And 40 square. So I can write 40 square as 40 into 40. 1 0. This becomes 2 and this gets cancelled out. So it will be 160. Or you can cancel one more thing. 4 say this 4 gets cancelled out. Okay. So it will be 40 divided by 10 to the power minus 11 or minus 6. It is 10 to the power 5. Okay. So this much will be the answer, that is equal to option. कितना आएगा ये? 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. 4 microjoule. Okay. It will be 4 microjoules. Option first. Okay. Let's go to next question, which is question number 30. Question number 30. Okay. Question number 30 tells that a uniform rod, let's go to question number 30. A uniform rod of mass m and length L is rotating with constant angular velocity omega about an axis, okay, which passes through its one of its end and perpendicular to the length of the rod. So there is a rod. This rod is rotating, okay, mass is m, length is L. It is rotating with constant angular velocity and with an axis which passes through one of its end. So let's say this is the axis. So it is rotating like this with omega. Now, the area of cross section of the rod is given as A. This is A. And its Young's modulus is Y. Neglect gravity. The strain at the midpoint of the rod is. So you have to find the strain at the midpoint, right? So let's do it here. This is a uniform rod, okay? The size is here is looking like decreasing. It is not like that. So at the midpoint, so midpoint पर हमको strain बताना है. We have to calculate midpoint strain. So I'll take a small section, which is, let's say, dx at midpoint, just at the midpoint, right? So this length will be L by 2. Okay. Dx length, and also what will be the tension? See, this rod will have a tension, right? This rod will have a tension because it is rotating very, very, very fast, right? So this dx part will have a tension, which is dt. This dt tension is m omega square L, right? Let's say this is not L by 2. This is L, this is X. Okay. This is X. So this will be L minus X. Center par nikalna hai, right? So when we integrate, we will calculate from 0 to L by 2. So we'll get the whole strain. Pura strain nikalna hai, not at the center point. We have to calculate strain up to L by 2 length. Okay. So dx ले लिया कुछ small segment, right? Let's say this dx is having a mass of dm, right? What will be dm? dm will be total mass upon total length into dx, right? So what will tension? Tension will be m omega square r. Okay. So mass is dm, omega square into distance is L minus X. Okay, this is dt. Now if I substitute the value of dm as well, dm is m by L dx omega square L minus X. And now if I integrate it from 0 to t tension, and this x dx का integration हो रहा है, everything else is constant, so x का integration होगा, x is from 0 to L by 2, right? 0 से लेके L by 2 तक है. So t will be equal to, when you integrate it, L minus x को integrate करेंगे, so you will get finally as m omega square by L square by 2 minus L square by 8 by putting the limits. Okay, now we will get finally t is equal to 3 by 8. Solving is simple, right? Maths only. ml omega square, right? This will be the tension. But what is strain? What we have to find? We have to find the strain, right? Strain is okay. We got the tension. Tension is nothing but force, right? We got the whole force which is exerted by this part of the rod at the midpoint, because we have integrated from 0 to L by 2, right? So इस part की वजह से we got all the force that is acting outside to this other part, half part, which is inside, right? So stress is force upon area. So it will be 3 ml omega square by 8a. 3 ml omega square by 8a. Acha, y is missing. Okay, this is stress, and stress is equal to y into strain. Strain निकालना है, not a stress. So we will multiply y. So strain is equal to y into 3 ml omega square by 8a. Sorry, y will come down. What was the relation? Relation was stress is equal to y into strain. So from here, strain will be equal to stress upon y. So it will be 3 ml omega square upon 8a y. Which option is that? 3 ml omega square L upon 8a y. Option B. Next, let's go to 41. 41. Okay. It is telling a uniform thin rod of mass m and length L is held horizontally by two vertical strings. So there is a rod, mass m and length L. It is held by two vertical strings like this, right? Like this. One of the string is cut. एक string को क्या कर दिया? काट दिया. So when this string is cut, it will rotate like this. It will go like this. Okay. If it will go like this, it will have an angular acceleration, right? What will be that acceleration that we have to find? Okay. So it is very simple question. When it will rotate, it will have some torque, which is equal to I alpha, right? And this torque is acting at a distance of L. This is L. So I can write it in terms of force also, which is F into L. Okay. This torque is due to the gravitational force due to the earth. So gravitational force is how much? This much is the gravitational force, which is mg. Mg is acting just at the center. So the torque will be equal to mg, which is force, into length L by 2, is equal to I alpha. What is I? Moment of inertia of rod about this hinge point. It is ml square by 3. So I'll substitute that also. ml square by 3 into alpha, right? mm gets cancelled out, ll gets cancelled out. From here, alpha you will get 3g by 2n. Okay, this will be the answer, which is option C, right? Okay. Any other good question is there? 45. Okay, 45 is simple. Question is telling a cable is replaced by another one of the same length. There was a cable, it is replaced by another with the same length, but now the diameter is twice. So what will be the effect on elongation? Elongation is what? Elongation is equal to delta L. So we have to find the relation of delta L with diameter. That's it. I know F by A is equal to Young's modulus into delta L upon L. Since length is not changing, it is constant. Since F is not changing, it is constant. Since Young's modulus is not changing, it is constant because the material is same, right? So I can say delta L is inversely proportional to area, or I can say inversely proportional to R square. And if I put in place of R as D by 2, which is diameter by twice, divide by 2, I can say it is inversely proportional to diameter square as well. So I got the final result, that is delta L, which is elongation, is directly proportional to diameter square. Okay. Now read the question. Diameter is twice. Diameter क्या कर दिया है? दुगना. So the length will be 1/4. That's it. If diameter is twice, it is increased by 2 times. So this will be decreased by 1 by 2 times the square, because it is d square in denominator. So decreased by 1 by 4. Option A. Okay. So these were some of the important questions of the test, okay, which I need to discuss. All other questions are simple. If you still have problems, you can ask to your respective teachers. Okay. Bye bye and good luck.